Very soon, Halo 3 will be available on Steam. Not only does this introduce the complete Halo trilogy to a new audience, it means that for the first time ever, PC players can finally finish the fight. The last few months have not been great for the Master Chief Collection. A lack of polish in QA has really led to it feeling like the developers didn't have enough time and resources to get these ports where they needed to be before releasing them. Discourse became more cynical, and people began to brace for further instability and glitches each patch instead of excitedly anticipating new content. To say a lot was riding on the Halo 3 port to set things right would be an understatement. And how did it turn out here? Without giving too much away, the folks on the 343 publishing team did fantastic work here. But let's get into specifics. If you find yourself enjoying this video, a like and a share is appreciated, and let's begin. Let's get this out of the way first. Halo 3 is not a game with the same level of visual fidelity of Combat Evolved's Anniversary Mode, and especially Halo 2's Anniversary Mode. This is very much a 2007 game and looks the part. However, what keeps Halo 3 from looking like a mashed potato world is its incredible lighting, attention to detail with particle effects, and what it does in the texture department to imply detail, even if the actual quality is rather rough. Brute choppers kick up dirt and grass, mud collects under the chassis of warthogs. Vehicle explosions not only create bright fireballs, they also send shrapnel and debris all around the environment. Look no further than the timeless explosion of a Scarab Walker for a perfect example of creative and timeless presentation.
Oh, hello.
Not bad, Spartan. I saw that explosion from orbit.
Halo 3 is a good-looking game, even if it's not technically good-looking by today's standards. What's more impressive is that 343 has it running at not just 60 frames per second, but higher, with pretty solid animation interpolation to make sure that everything looks good at higher frame rates. This carries into cutscenes where animations are well interpolated so that the movement looks fluid and precise. A big upgrade over Combat Evolved, which had its animations locked to 30 frames per second in cutscenes. What's surprising as well is 343 made a couple of visual improvements to Halo 3 in regards to the matte paintings and skyboxes, touching them up to look more detailed and higher resolution than what Bungie originally shipped. It isn't all flawless though here, and thankfully these issues are really just nitpicks, some of which are being worked on and tracked by the publishing team. The lighting on characters and shadows noticeably flicker and snap between states of being lit and unlit, instead of smoothly transitioning. Walking under a tree or walking into a different room can make your gun flicker and light up like a busted lamp, or moving around a sloped incline can cause your shadow to get all squirrelish and start freaking out. It's goofy when it happens, but the pace of gameplay is so quick and snappy that it's hardly an issue right now, and thankfully a fix is being worked on. What is a bit more disorienting is that the crouch animation seems to not be interpolated correctly. Your camera position still seems to update at 60 frames per second. The act of crouching is a bit nauseating because the camera position is only updating 60 times every second, while the game world is updating at 144. It causes the act of crouching to kind of look laggy. I hope that this is something that is addressed. Overall, the visual presentation is mostly preserved. Cracks may start to show in the coming weeks, but what's important is that this was an excellent conversion. I'm really happy with the work done. This is solid. How is the sound? Halo 3 on the Master Chief Collection has had its sound glitched for about half a decade now. The battle rifle and the assault rifle sounded closer to crickets chirping. Background audio would be boosted way too loud. Music would sometimes drown out all sounds. It wasn't in a good place to begin with, and given the MCC's history of audio glitches, it's understandable to expect more audio issues here. Thankfully, I have nothing bad to report here. As part of the publishing team's audio restoration efforts, Halo 3's audio has been returned to mostly 360 parity, minus a few moments in the campaign where the music will be mistimed. Individual sound effects in Halo 3 are definitely a product of 2007. Stock sound effects are widely used. Recording quality and mixing can tend to vary from person to person in cutscenes, but when all combined together and orchestrated by the masterpiece soundtrack from Marty O'Donnell and Michael Salvatore, you get an absolutely timeless soundscape that translates well to PC. From the cowboy-like zing-patwang of bullets ricocheting around, to the cackling and shrieking of the grunts, to the absolutely mesmerizing score that follows your ears through each level, this is an experience I'm happy was translated well to PC. This update also includes long-awaited audio restoration for Halo Reach. It's too early to tell if the music timing and the distinct gunshot reverb has been addressed in Reach, but up front, the improvement in quality is noticeable. Reach sounds closer to its 360 iteration than ever before, and the game is better for it. With this new update comes a whole host of improvements to the UI, modifications to it, as well as additions. Full armor customization has been unlocked for Halo 3, along with the ability to customize the emblem your Spartan now carries on their armor. And while it's disappointing to see no real work done on prettying up the weird-looking Halo 2 models, this update comes with a surprising new customization suite for Combat Evolved of all things. With the big Halo 3 update comes a long list of skins, rewards, and customization features, and this isn't just for the weapons, but vehicles and Spartan visors too. And before you get upset, there is surprisingly an option to opt out of this customization feature. So if you want, you can choose to never see custom skins in Combat Evolved. For now, the skins will only work in multiplayer, but 343 wants to get the skins working in the campaign for those who want to see Chief driving around a cardboard Scorpion tank. Returning to the Halo 3 part for a second, 343 have also made adjustments to how view models work, at least in this game first. When centering your crosshair, view models will be lower on the screen, allowing for a clearer image, which is quite welcome for those who prefer to play that way. Let me just be a garbage human for 1 second. I'm personally a fan of per-object motion blur, and while Halo 3 doesn't have it in the traditional sense, Bungie made a pretty alright facsimile of it. It looks convincing and pretty stylish when the game is in motion. I really like it, but I understand that it's not for everyone, and there is unfortunately no toggle for the motion blur for those who want it off. There is also still no real in-game graphics options, no way to enable features like 16 times anisotropic filtering, necessitating the usage of your graphics card's control panel to enable these things. 343 have opened up, though, that proper graphics options are in active development, and we will see more of them soon. Forge has also been added to the MCC on PC, with Halo 3 and Reach's Forge being expanded, a feature that Xbox players will be benefiting from. With the introduction of new pieces, options, and tools, even the older Forge modes like Halo 3 have been given a new creative life, and as someone who enjoys forging casually, I'm very excited to revisit Halo 3 and get to work with the new toys provided. I do need to clarify before we move on that Halo 3 is a game with interesting netcode. Even on the Xbox 360, the game wasn't very reliable in that department. The publishing team don't want to do a hacked-together fix for the Bungie netcode like speeding up projectiles. They want a proper fix to Bungie's old netcode, and while it won't be included at Halo 3's launch, it is something that's being planned out and worked on by them. So if you play Halo 3 and get a little bit frustrated by the wonky netcode, they know, and they're working on it. The Master Chief Collection has had a pretty rough year. The MCC was sliding back into the territory of being the game pretty famous for its glitches and instability. This here is a good update for the game, and the update the game honestly needed. Halo 2's PC launch was a low point for the MCC in my opinion. It was a bad experience for all, and lessons were clearly learned from it. The Halo 3 port is exactly what it needs to be for PC, which is only helped by a plethora of good additions and modifications. I'm hoping that this high quality bar is continued through into the releases of ODST and Halo 4 on PC. I'm hoping to see a polishing pass on the Combat Evolved and Halo 2 ports to neaten up the bugs, but as of right now, I'm really happy with where the MCC is on PC, and what it will offer to not just PC players, but Xbox players when it officially launches. This is a good update for the MCC, and I'm pretty happy to say that. Despite the issues of working from home, the publishing team has created a pretty solid package here, and it makes me very optimistic about the future of the Master Chief Collection. Will this level of quality be retained in the future? Well, we're gonna have to see, but for now, this is a solid port.